So guys, we're going to do a couple ways to beat the underhook and half guard. We've been working on half guard and showing all kinds of techniques from someone having an underhook. You know, the person on bottom on half guard is getting the underhook, and it forces the person on top into this situation where they're getting the whizzer a lot of times. And you know, I think as we've seen, as many different counters as there are to when someone whizzers you, maybe that's not the best idea. You know, everybody's just like, you need to get the underhook. It's not always that easy either. People that are usually good at playing half guard and giving you those kind of problems or getting underhooks are usually good at stopping you from getting an underhook. Now, we're going to do a couple ways to beat their underhook. Okay? Now, Michael's just going to slip and get the underhook like that. Good. Now, slip and get the underhook and pitch me forward like that's a little later into the game, right? So, first option here is when he slips, I've got to be here. Now, if I just drop on my hip, he will just Shaolin sweep me right over. So you got to be careful about that. Okay, so this is interesting, right? Some people call this an underhook. Donaher and his guys call it a scoop grip. That way people don't get confused. And I was watching a private lesson I'd recorded that I'd done with my friend Jack, and like there was confusion. It's like we were talking. He's like, you know, to get an underhook, can I underhook the arm, right? And he's like, oh no, on the leg, right? So they call this the scoop grip. You know, you call it whatever you want, but you need to get your arm under his leg so he doesn't get his underhook, right? So he doesn't get your back exposed over here. So once this happens, I need to flatten him this way, right? And look how I've turned my hips, right? So that's the first idea, right? There's this kind of concept that if I turn here, right, that it's a little easier to pass, right? So I've got around his knee and under, okay? So as he gets the underhook, here I want to flatten him, right? I go around and under the knee. I go shin across the belly, and I'm here. Now, you got to keep his leg pulled like this, okay? Now, you can keep your arm here as you go here, right? But you've got to watch out if you're being lazy and you come off the knee on belly and you leave your hand in. If Michael cross faces me, depending on where I'm at, pushes me into his leg triangle, he's got submissions on this arm. So if you are just starting to work this pass, that's a real important detail for beginners. Don't leave your hand on the inside. Okay? So he gets his underhook here. Boom. Right? Now I'm going to flatten here. Scissor my hips underneath. Right there. And block his hip. Okay? Now from blocking the hip, I'm going to clock that 45 position. Not a true north-south, but here. Head over the hip. Hand blocking the hip. And here, I'm controlling this arm in some way. Maybe here, right? So that's just way one. Let's look at way two. Okay? So, slip the underhook again. This is way one. Now, I was kind of shown, and look, the guy was really good. But he's world champion 9 times. And like I watched the DVD recently where he's shown, I've worked it with him at seminars, remain nameless, right? But he gets his underhook, right? This at one time was taught, right? Yeah, he's already stopped me, right? But this big back step over here, and then doing some sort of pass to get out. It never really worked for me so well. And this way I think's better. This is a later face counter, right? So he slips the knee shield and bucks me forward. What I'm going to do is post my hands and raise my hips right here. So don't big back step over there. When your hips are raised, put your shin and go here. Now this is very subtle, but I use it all the time. If you look at my right hand on the mat behind Michael's head, you'll see that I have his the back of his neck wedged, right? So all I'm doing is I'm driving my hand on the mat. That creates an active post, and it makes it harder for him to hit his head, kind of crunches him up, right? So from here, guys, you can do a few different things. You can pummel back in, you could punch the mat, just depends on like what he's doing with this arm primarily, or you could switch his hips, okay? He might even be setting up on his elbow, in which case you can, bring your head over this arm and start attacking like Kimura trap stuff, right? But it's just getting a leg entanglement. And I think that the big benefit here is just teaching yourself to when someone has an underhook, right? Not expecting to do this big back step, because if Michael brings his knee to his elbow, he's gonna stop that and put me in his back. Okay, so that's bad. It's not what you want to have. So as Michael gets his underhook and chucks me forward, I raise my hips right here. Not a big back step over here, right? And then I can start working for Kimura trap. If he sees me coming in, he drops down, right? Underhook, right? Pass, pummel back inside, go around the other way, block back. You got different options, okay? But either a back step or that scoop grip idea are both really good ways to deal with someone getting an underhook. I think better ways than I've seen, right? Whizzing's not a good way, right? We always drill that, but it's so the person on bottom gets the technique. Yeah, you can do some stuff, but these are two really good counters. You can work them back into your passes. Thanks, guys.